We know now there's an entire field of scientific study called psychoneuroimmunology that's about how the thoughts affect the immune system and all the automatic systems of the body. And it's this ability for thought to change the autonomic nervous system that causes headache control to work in the Silva Method. Headache control is one of the most successful techniques in the course. I have had so many people report to me. Just in my last class, there was a woman who had constant headaches 4 or 5 times a week. She was on several different drugs, and she went to a headache center where the neurologist recommended the Silva Method. She came to the class. After the first day of the course, where she learned headache control, she was free of headaches. Another man in my class before that who was on 10 different medications for headaches. Since he's taken the course, he's only had 2 headaches that he was not able to stop with mind control. And so we have incredible chemistry system. We have a whole chemical factory inside our own body if we can just direct it. And Mirror of the Mind is just to direct energy. While we're having our human experience, we may as well direct our energy the way that we want it to be directed. So, Mirror of the Mind, of course, can be used for health. Now, it's nice to make it fun. I have a friend, Suzanne Alexander, who went blind a number of years ago. She had diabetes, and she had diabetic retinopathy, and she went completely blind in both eyes. For about 5 months, she was blind. She never could really accept it. You know, people told her, you have to get a seeing eye dog, just accept it, don't be so angry with it. But she never could accept it. And she finally remembered that she had read the book, The Silva Mind Control Method, and that there was something in there about relaxing and visualizing what you want. So she began to relax several times a day, and what she felt at level that she needed to do was to love her eyes. And she made this fun. She imagined hugging her eyeballs. It seems ridiculous, but when you make it enjoyable and pleasant like that, see, that's the way our right brain hemisphere works, through silly things and through symbols and things that don't make sense to the judgmental side of ourselves, the left brain hemisphere. But she visualized hugging her eyeballs. Another thing Suzanne loves is jewels, beautiful stones. So she would imagine taking jewels and crushing them into a fine powder and putting them down into her eyeballs, and her eyeballs would just be glistening with all this jewelry dust. And she did this about 4 or 5 times a day for about 15 or 20 minutes each time. And at the end of 2.5 weeks, she had her eyesight back. And she's now a friend of mine, and she can get around fine. She has her eyesight. This is the power that our thoughts can have over our bodies. And science is studying this and recognizes it now. But we also realize that Mirror of the Mind and our thoughts at a deep level also not only affect our bodies, but can subjectively communicate to others, and then things can come into our lives. For instance, John Newman, the Silva Method director in the United Kingdom, also about 6 years ago had a hiatal hernia. And his doctor said you can't eat all the foods you like and you have to sit up in the bed at night. So he started doing Mirror of the Mind. The first time in the blue frame mirror, he visualized the problem, and then got rid of that. And in the white frame mirror, you visualize the solution. And you never go back to the blue framed image again. So every time at level, he would visualize being able to eat whatever he wanted and be happy. And what happened with him was his body did not change, but someone came into his life who told him about a substance that he could drink. It's a natural substance that was very healing for hiatal hernias. And he immediately bought some of this, and he drank it, and he was completely fine. He's been fine ever since. So sometimes we attract a physical solution into our lives. But you don't put any kind of limitations on Mirror of the Mind. Now, some of the things that I've done that have been mistakes over the years. Okay, here's one that I did. When I was very poor still, making very little money each year, I wanted to go to the international convention of the Silva Method, and I knew I needed money to do that. And so I started visualizing at level that I would be able to sell some of my paintings. Now I had 13 paintings that I had done, and they were very beautiful and very detailed, and when I did sell paintings, they would sell for quite a lot. But I would usually only sell 3 paintings per year. So a painting might be $1,000 or $2,000. But I thought if I can sell all 13 paintings, I can pay off all of my debts, and then I can go to this convention. So I visualized at level, selling the paintings, and I was able to be in the right place at the right time to get them shown in a hospital. And of course, doctors were always my best customers, because in the United States, doctors make quite a lot of money, and so they could afford to buy these paintings. And I would go to level and visualize having the money in my hand, and I would put white light around the paintings and visualize that they go to the right person, and not a single painting sold. Now, over the years, I've kept a list of some of my major Mirror of the Mind projects, and when they happen, I check them off. And I'm able to go back and look and see which things happened and which things didn't, and able to learn from that. Some of the things that didn't happen, I just didn't have much desire for, or I was very vague about programming, or I didn't expect them to happen at all, or I didn't have any belief that they could happen. But this one I really believed it could happen. But when I looked back, I realized that I did not want to let those paintings go, because I knew subconsciously that I would not be painting anymore, and I wanted to keep those last 13 paintings. And there was a conflict in my attitude. I really secretly wanted those paintings. And so what I really wanted came through. Actually, what I really wanted was to be able to go to Texas, and in the end I was able to go because the money came from other sources. And I was able to do what I really wanted to do, and to this day I'm glad I still have those paintings. So sometimes there's a conflict in your attitude, or you really don't have desire for something, and that can block your programming. Another thing that can make a mistake in your programming is to program for the wrong end result. Now, Paul Grievous, who used to teach the Silva Method in New York, said that a woman came to his class, and she had been going out with a man who was wonderful, and she really loved him, and he was also dating another woman. And he said that he was going to stop dating both women and then decide after a month which one he would marry. So this woman came to the Silva class, and she knew that she could use Mirror of the Mind and visualize this man choosing her, and then she would marry him. So every day she would visualize in the white frame mirror walking arm in arm with this man into their apartment building, and the doorman would say hello to them and call them both by name. And that's all she visualized every day. At the end of the month, this man came to her and he said, "I have decided to marry the other woman." She was furious. She said, "Mirror of the Mind doesn't work. This is a bunch of baloney. I don't like this stuff." She was furious. Well, after a couple of months, she got over it. And one day she was coming home on the bus, and he got onto the bus. He and his wife had moved into her apartment building, so they were going to the same building. So they sat together and they started talking and they started laughing. They started having a good time. And when they got off the bus, just as they were walking into her apartment building, she put her arm in his, and they walked in arm, and the doorman looked at them and called them both by name. And she almost fell on the floor. It was exactly what she had visualized so many times at level. She had visualized the wrong end result. If she wanted to marry him, she should have visualized being married with him and being happy. And in the case of something that deals with another person, you always want to add this or something even better, because you want it to be best for them too. And there may have been an even better man for her. But can you imagine? She got exactly what she had visualized at level.
If you would like to watch more videos like this, then please subscribe to my channel below. Once again, my name is Stephen Dobos, and you can download a free centering exercise. The information is in the description box below.